Yeah, we are live now. So, hi viewers, how are you today? Thank you for joining the session. Today, my name is Tailor. So, I'm a registered migration agent at Aussizz Group Very branch. So, you can contact me anytime if you have any queries regarding migration or any other consultation. So, you can consult me at the Aussizz Group Very branch. So, today we are discussing the big news uh, for Australia reopening their borders, which we have received the announcement on 7th of February. So, as per the news says that Australia will reopen to all fully vaccinated visa holders. Like it will include the tourist visas, bridging visas, business travel visas, and other visas from 25th, 21st of February 2022. So on 21st of February, and anyone can travel over here who will be fully vaccinated and be holding a visa for Australia. So any bridging visa we will be fine as well, or any tourist visa will be fine. So you don't require an exemption to travel to Australia. You can travel directly. So this is actually a big news. So after 2 years, so the lockdown happened in March 2020, and after 2 years, Australia is open right now, and we can expect a large number of visitors coming, and all the visa holders who are fully vaccinated can come to Australia. So basically Australia has done this to improve the economic recovery of Australia, and finally, like, Australian residents can reunite with their family, their partner, anyone, okay, who are stuck there. Let's say if you are not a PR or citizen, and if you want to meet your family, you can now lodge a tourist visa for them, okay, and they can come over here. And like, we do have so many clients, okay. Let's say, for example, someone has applied for 485 visa and they were stuck, like they have applied that visa onshore and they want to go back to their home country, and like, while lodging the bridging visa B, they were stuck over there. They were not able to come over here. So right now on bridging visa B, they can come over here. They can like call their partner as well. Let's say, for example, someone has applied for 485 visa, applied for the bridging visa B, went overseas and got married to their partner. They can come back, and after coming back, once their visa is granted, they can also call back their partner. So it is a good news, okay. At least it will open doors to meet your family, your partners, and a way to stay in Australia on 485 visa or any other visa, okay. So anyone can come over here, so whose visa has not been granted, and many bridging visa B holders were there. So the big question was that the bridging visa B holders can come or not. Yes, so anyone who is holding a bridging visa B can come from 21st of February 2022. So it's a good news. And for that, you should be fully vaccinated, okay. So the visa holders who are not fully vaccinated will not be allowed over here. So you must be fully vaccinated. And for some states, quarantine uh, free travel is also available, like New South Wales, Victoria, and ACT, okay. They don't require any quarantine, okay. So you can come over here, and depending on states, okay, you have to meet the requirements of quarantine as well. Let's say Western Australia is still not open, okay. It's difficult to open right now, okay. So what you can do, you can come to any other state, you can stay here in Victoria, and then you can travel in interstate if your eventually your goal is to travel to Western Australia. Let's say, for example, we do have students who have come here in New South Wales, in Victoria, okay, who are studying in Western Australia. So they have come here, they have lived here, they have traveled online, they have studied online, okay, and then whenever it will open, they can travel over there. So at least they will start their employment and everything over here in Victoria, New South Wales, or any other city. So this announcement will definitely like create more jobs in tourism industry. Like before pandemic, okay, there were so many jobs in this country, and the economy of Australia was like surviving and has created 60 million of revenue from that industry. So it's a good news for Australian economy. So now we will understand like what is fully vaccinated, because they have written on their website and also on their Facebook page that only fully vaccinated travelers can travel to and from Australia. So we have to understand that what are the accepted vaccines for fully vaccinated. So you should have completed 2 doses of the vaccines. Okay, so there are so many vaccines like on the department website, okay, which are the acceptable vaccines. So some of the vaccines people might have known, like AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna. These are the common vaccines, and there are also other vaccines as well which are acceptable. So you can also use mixed doses of this vaccine. So let's say if you have, for example, if you have a dose of AstraZeneca, okay, first dose, and second dose if you have done for Pfizer as well, then also you are eligible. Okay, so recently, like one of my client like asked a question today, okay, that what if my parents have like taken 2 doses of AstraZeneca and 1 dose of Pfizer? Are they considered fully vaccinated? Yes, they are, because they have done 2 doses already, and like a booster dose of Pfizer, the 3rd dose will be fine. Yeah, so they can travel. So there are so many questions will be coming into your mind regarding that. So you can pop up your questions as well on that. And keep in mind that, let's say if you did your 2nd dose, so after your 2nd dose, you should at least like wait for 7 days before traveling to Australia for the immunization purposes. So don't book your ticket straight away. Okay, so you will be considered fully vaccinated like that. That is for adults. Let's say for children as well. So let's say if a general is under 12 years, okay, if they have not been vaccinated, they will still be considered as fully vaccinated, so can travel with an adult. If a child is like 12 to 17 years old, and if is partially vaccinated, for example, if a child has taken only 1 dose, okay, they can still travel with fully vaccinated adults, but depending on the state or territory requirements, they may have to quarantine. And the fully vaccinated adult coming with them, they might also have to quarantine as the child is partially vaccinated. So these are also the options. Okay, and people do have to keep in mind that whenever they travel to Australia, they have to carry their passport, which is their identification, which is the main thing, and also proof of vaccination. So if you are vaccinated overseas, okay, you will need to provide an international vaccinator certificate. Okay, so that is required. So if you are fully certified, fully vaccinated, okay, you need to provide that certificate. So some people might be wondering, okay, like let's say there might be a different name on their vaccination certificate, and also like on their passport there may be a different name. So I'll suggest carry an affidavit or something, okay, which says that this is the same person, or maybe change in their vaccination certificate if they can change it from their home country. Or else you can also like travel with a marriage certificate, a driver's license, or any other documents, any other ID proof which should have that name as well. Okay, so that can help you, so it don't hinder your travel to Australia. You can directly travel to Australia. Okay, mostly for the parents, there is a problem, okay, that whenever their birth certificate they have issued at that time, the name on their birth certificate is different, and whenever they get the passport or anything or any other document, their passport name is different. Okay, something on their ID card, let's say for example in India, Aadhaar card is there, which is a national form of ID. So on that the name is also sometimes different, okay, or there is a spelling mistake. So please do keep in mind, if you are traveling with your parents or your parents are traveling alone, okay, you need to keep that in mind, that the vaccination certificate, okay, should match your passport or any other form of ID, so it won't hinder your travel to Australia. Okay, so now this is for this is the information, okay, for a travel from 21st of February 2022. And now there are other newses as well. Okay, so let's say there is a visitor visa application charge waiver fees as well. So most of the clients or most of the parents or any other family member who have got their visa granted, okay, they can, before pandemic and they are not able to travel over here, they may be eligible for a visitor visa back fee. So I'll explain you how you can do that. So I'll take a scenario for that. Let's say if your parents have been granted a visitor visa before pandemic, let's say before March 2022, okay, and if the visa has already been expired, because it might be for a year or 2 years, okay, and the visa has already been expired or going to be expired before this June 2022, they are eligible for the fees. Okay, so currently the fees for a visitor visa is around 148 plus surcharge. Okay, so that is the approximate fee of a visitor visa. So they can get a waiver of this fees because the reason is they were not able to travel on the visitor visa they have applied for, and that can help you to apply for any waiver when you apply for a new application. But you have to keep in mind that you must make the new application online by 31st of December of this year, okay, 2022. So you have to apply for the date to be eligible to get the waiver on the fees, visitor visa fees. So suggested to apply for a new visa for visitor visa. So apart from that, there is a refund on the student visa application charges as well. So there is a news on 19th of January 2022 that they will provide a refund of the student visa application charges. So there are currently like around 150,000 students which are offshore. Okay, and any student visa holder who is currently offshore and like comes to Australia over the next 8 weeks, so around between 19 Jan 2022 to 19 March 2022, will be eligible for the refund for the visa application charge. So the visa application charge is like higher for a student visa, which is $630. So which is more than the visitor visa. So it can help a student, let's say if someone is traveling during this period, okay, and because of this COVID rush, everyone is traveling to Australia. The travel and flight tickets has been increased. Okay, so this visa application charge refund can help a student if they want to travel earlier. Okay, and they don't have to wait for a month when the travel tickets get less. Okay, or sometimes like people have booked for March or April. Okay, and their college is also starting around that time. So if they want to come earlier, they can come earlier, they can book tickets earlier, and using this visa application fees will like attract students over here to come in Australia quickly. And also if these changes are also coming for the new applications of student visa as well, okay, this the reason for this is that they will start processing the applications quickly, okay, for Australia during this refund window. So from offshore, if a new application of the student visa has been made, okay, so they are prioritizing that applications, okay, so they can attract the new student visa applications for Australia. Because most of their revenue is coming like from those student visas, okay, and study. Okay, so currently it's a good like for the student visas that they can get an back fee refund on that one. Okay, and department wants to attract the students in Australia. So along with that student visa refund, there was another good news for the students, okay, who are currently in Australia. So we all know about that thing that currently students can work like unlimited hours. So they have provided a working hour flexibility right now. So during this pandemic, like from last 2 years, to support the Australian business, government has allowed students to work additional hours in just critical sectors only. Okay, so people working in critical sectors, students working in the critical sectors, okay, can work more than 20 hours per week or 40 hours per fortnight. Okay, but from this announcement, okay, due to current workforce shortages, the government is temporarily extending this arrangement, okay, by removing the limit on the student visa holders working hours across all the sectors of the economy. So let's say even if you are not working in the critical sectors, if you are working anywhere and you are a student in Australia, you can currently work full time or an unlimited number of hours. Okay, so this is just temporary, it is not permanent. Okay, so this thing will again be reviewed in April 2022. Okay, so keep in mind, okay, that you should be aware of the updates. Okay, you don't breach any conditions like meet a migration agents or keep updated with the Department of Immigration websites. Okay, or follow our Aussizz group page. We also keep updating this kind of stuff. So if there is an update that the working hour flexibility has been ended, okay, I'll suggest you don't work full time, and like inform your employer that you are not able to currently work full time, so you have to start working 20 hours per week. Okay, so this is the update for that. Okay, and department has also mentioned that if you're working full-time, I'll suggest all the students as well, okay, to balance your study and work commitments as well, because there are so many breach of conditions sometimes, and department are strict with the breach of conditions on the student visas. So if you don't study, if you don't maintain your course enrollment, okay, then they can cancel your visa as well, because whenever your student visa is granted, there's a condition on your student visa, okay, that you have to maintain your studies. You have to meet your satisfactory course progress. That is the requirement. So if you don't continue your studies, don't maintain your course enrollment, okay, your attendance is not in the university or college, okay, it is not satisfactory, you are skipping your classes, okay, if you're not submitting your assignments, okay, then it can lead to cancellation of your visa. So I'll suggest that use this arrangement wisely, which is for a temporary period, and I'll suggest that it won't like hamper your student visa. So this is the flexibilities for student visa right now. Okay, that refund is provided, and also they are also giving work hours flexibility. So these are the two things for the student visas right now. And there is a big thing coming up for 485 visa holders right now. So we are known that many people who are staying here, like before the pandemic, who have applied for like 485 visa, so they have traveled to their home country and then got stuck over there, and their 485 visa has expired or that is about to expire. Okay, they can apply for a visa extension for temporary graduate visa. So currently on 18th of February, certain like temporary graduate 485 visa holders will have their visas extended or unleavened to 30 September 2022. So what is extended and what is unleavened? So I'll give you an example of both of them. So let's say if someone is on 485 visa and has traveled outside Australia and is unable to return back during the COVID-19 pandemic, while staying away, like their visa got expired in their home country and unable to travel to Australia, so they will be eligible to be granted a 485 visa until September 2022 to travel to Australia. So they can travel over here if they are stuck outside. And we can take another scenario of extension as well. So if someone is on 485 visa, we granted in Feb 2022, has traveled outside Australia and was stuck in their home country, but they came back in November. So keep in mind their visa was, for example, granted in February 2020, and then in November when everyone can come in for like specified visas, the Department of Immigration has mentioned. So those visas 485 was also mentioned to in November when they came in after the travel relaxation, okay, for 485 visa holders. So once they came in and their visa is expiring in February 2022, because at that time the 485 visa was for 2 years maximum. Okay, so they can also be granted 485 until September to live in Australia, to stay in Australia. And after both of these scenarios, okay, so people will be granted the visas on this September 2022. After that, there is another visa which is temporary graduate replacement visa. So for 485, this is for the 485 visa, so they can be eligible for that visa, and the updates for that visa will be coming in next months, and it can be like launched from July 2022. So for this extension visa, you don't have to do anything, which is coming on 18th of February 2022. Department will directly contact, so the visa holders will be notified by the department, so they don't have to do anything, they don't have to contact the department. Okay, and the cost for this visa is free. Okay, so you don't have to pay anything as well. Okay, and as I said, don't contact the department as well. Okay, and after that, in July, you might be eligible for temporary graduate replacement stream 485 visa as well. Okay, so this COVID-19 replacement stream is the replacement for the initial temporary graduate visa. So it is only available for graduate visa holders like impacted by the Australian travel restrictions. This means like people who could not stay in Australia for the full period allowed by the temporary graduate visa. So the visa is, let's say, for 2 years, and for that period they have stayed like 1.5 years anywhere in the home country, not in Australia. Okay, so for that period they will be providing this replacement visa, and they will check each and every applications once they will start this visa. So depending on that, they will check each and every applications individually, and they will grant you as per how much your visa was you have lived offshore on that visa. So let's say if you lived like for 1 year offshore, okay, then you will be granted a visa for 1 year. So each and every application will be treated on individual basis. So it can help you to live in Australia, because Australia also know that these temporary graduate holders, okay, like play a big role in the economy of Australia, because they can work full time as well. So these are the news. These are the upcoming news for this January and February month. So now we may take some questions. So we have a question over here. As the borders have opened up, can we still apply for COVID visa if working in healthcare as a biomedical engineering, current visa expiring in April? By Riya Nayak. Okay, yeah. Wife was offshore and previously on 485 dependent visa. Okay, so this question I think has been asked by Riya Nayak. Okay, that their visa, they can still apply for COVID visa if they are working in healthcare. Yeah, so COVID visa is still there. Okay, it has not been abolished or anything. Okay, so yeah, if your visa is expiring, okay, and if you're working in the health sector or critical sector, you can still apply for 408 visa. So I'll suggest that you provide all your employment documents, okay, and prove them that you are currently working in that medical sector, and during that period, try to apply for any skilled visa. We do have another question as well. Okay, I am on bridging visa after application of 408 visa. It is by 𝐀𝐮. I'm on bridging visa after the application of 408 visa. After my TR is expired, can I apply for BBV and travel to India after 21st of Feb and come back? So I'm not able to understand the question. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I'll assume, 𝐀𝐮, that you are currently on 408. You have applied for a 408 visa, and you are on bridging visa of that 408 visa. And after you are applied that visa, after your TR has expired, so yes, you can still apply for bridging visa B, and you can travel to India. Okay, and you can come back after 31st Feb. But I just keep in mind, okay, because there are in COVID-19 stream, in 408 stream, if you are working in the critical sector and you have applied for that visa, so the requirement is that you are helping the economy of Australia in that sector. So I'll suggest that wait for the 408 visa to be granted, and then only move, because if you will move on your bridging visa B, okay, then you will lose the purpose of that visa. So I'll suggest that there can be implications on your 408 visa. Yeah, do we have any other questions? Yeah, one more. I am on bridging visa towards PR 190, and wife previously was on bridging visa 485 visa. We have applied for my wife's visa while she was offshore, and she is still offshore. Okay, her visa expired last year in October 2020. I had not left the country for the last 2 years. What's my best option to get here is she applicable for visa enlistment or apply for the tourist visa. Okay, so yeah, so for this question, let's say if your wife was already on 485 visa, and she was offshore, okay, then yes, she's eligible for that visa. But I exactly need to know the dates. Okay, uh, in October 2020. Okay, so your visa, her visa is expired in October 2020. Yeah, so they can provide you the visa if you're stuck during that period. So they have mentioned a period online. So it's between March 2020 to March 2022, somewhat that period. So yes, you will be your wife will be eligible for that visa. Okay, but I don't suggest try for the tourist visa yet. Okay, wait until the 18th of February, because if you apply for any other visa and if that visa is granted, then you will lose the privilege of that 485 extension visa. Okay, there is another question, follow-up question. What about secondary 485 visa applicants who were struck offshore? My wife's visa was applied and granted while she was offshore but couldn't travel. Will she be eligible for visa enlistment? Yeah, there can be chances, Advait, okay, that if her visa will be granted, then she can be eligible for that. But we have to also look that when have you applied for any other visa or not. Okay, let's say, Advait, if you after your 485 visa, if you have applied for any other visa, then she might not be eligible for another visa because you have already granted another substantive visa. So if you have granted another substantive visa, then it will be difficult for her to be granted a 485 visa again because she was a secondary applicant. That is another question from Side. We do have a remaining TR visa. We traveled out of Australia and couldn't come back to Australia. Will we be able to apply for an extension? How long will be the visa if granted, and how do we apply for that? Okay, Said. So, as per your questions, for the TR visa, you have not mentioned any dates or anything. So I assume that during this COVID period only you traveled on a TR visa offshore, and I'll assume that you are not in Australia. So yes, you will be eligible for this visa, 485 visa. So you can get that 485 visa. So if you are over here in Australia, and depending on the dates, because the dates suggest that you must be holding that visa until December 2022. So if you have got that visa, then only you are eligible for that. Okay, if you are in Australia, if not in Australia, then there are chances that you'll get an N11 visa and you can travel after that. So I hope, is there any other questions? Okay, so yes, guys, so I hope I have answered all your questions. Okay, and if you have any other questions as well, I'll suggest that you can comment on this one, or you can come and meet us in office or book a consultation with us so we can answer your questions. Okay, we also do phone consultations as well. Okay, if you are offshore, so we can help you guide through your entry in Australia. So I hope you have liked this session, and I'll be leaving for today. So good evening. Goodbye and take care of yourself. Thank you.